Hello, you all. I'm just giving out free advertisement. I just left the gym. Let me turn my car off because, I mean, who? My battery's going to die. My phone probably going to overheat. But I wanted to come out and do a quick video. So I was talking to my grandmother-in-law, my husband's grandma, my grandma. And she was saying, oh, I always wanted to be a nurse. I always wanted to be a nurse. She had a special needs child and she had 2 kids on top of that. And she had a special needs child in the 60s. So she was putting a lot of energy into her child. So she really was a nurse in so many ways because she took care of her child, took care of her family, all that. And she's taking care of all these sick people. But she was like, I could be a nurse. She said, you just don't have to know nothing. She said, you could teach it. You could teach somebody to be a nurse because they don't know nothing. I only know what you taught me. And she's right. She's right. Yeah, nursing, not to say that nurses are stupid or we don't have intelligence, all of that. I'm not saying none of that. People gonna take it how they are. But the thing is, in order to be a nurse, you just need to be teachable. Can somebody teach you that this and this equal this? Can somebody teach you when you do this, this is gonna happen? Can somebody teach you when this lab looks like this is what's happening in the body? All it is learning. Now I know you think like, well, yeah, what if I can't learn it? Yeah, if you are teachable, if you open your mind to being open to learning, no matter what adversity, because there's going to be plenty of adversities with learning. There's a lot of blockages and hurdles with learning, okay? It's somebody who didn't learn how to read till I was 9 years old. I get it. Like, there's a lot of blockages with learning in your mind, and there's stuff behind it other than just you need to open your mind to learning. But it's some people they so blocked, they think, oh, I'm not good at math, or oh, I'm so this, oh, I'm so that, that they cut themselves off from learning to begin with. But she was like, I don't know nothing to, so you can teach whatever you teach me, I'm gonna know it. Because her mind is open to learning. She said, I had to learn all of this stuff, how to take care of it. Because like I said, she had a special needs child in the 60s and a black baby. So you know what? Nobody trying to take care of that black baby unless it was some black physicians. And that's what she was able to find, all black physicians. And that's really the only ones that was really taking care of them. But anyway, she was like, they taught me everything of how to take care of her. They said, you took so good care of her. They didn't think that her daughter was even going to make it past like childhood, and she lived into her 40s. Like, that's how much she took care of her child. So what she's saying, I learned was what I learned because I was open to learn. I needed to learn to take care of my baby, didn't I? She said I could have, and she's right. You can do it. Do you have the mind to do it? Do you have the openness to do it? This is why some nurses they mess themselves up, because instead of opening yourself up to learning and being new and not knowing stuff and feeling stupid or feeling slow or feeling like you can't get it or feeling lost, you don't open yourself up to learning. This is why sometimes it's even harder for adult learners, because you sitting here as an adult being like, how do I not know that this and this equals this? Or how do I not understand this? Kids, they easy to teach because they're like, okay, I don't know it. Teach me. Adults, it's like this whole, it's an ego thing. Like, oh, I should have learned this, or oh, how am I gonna feel if I ask this question? Everybody knows it, but I don't know it, bruh. We getting paid to take care, like we paying them to take care, to teach us, right? So don't be afraid to ask questions in class. But anyhow, you have to be open to learning. Now, even critical thinking, which is the number one thing that nurses use, critical thinking, that's not even book smarts. That's not book smarts. Critical thinking it's beyond book smarts. You can use books to get you there. You can use certain things to get you, but critical thinking, there's like a different component that's within there that you can't necessarily learn through a book. It's something that you do. It's something that you start to see. You start to make connections within your mind. This is where the intelligence starts to come in. And you can teach critical thinking. You can teach someone how to think. Somebody can tell you how to think. They can tell you, that's why they say think like a nurse. They're just teaching you how to think, like operate in the nurse's mind. The nurse is thinking about all the different body systems. The nurse is thinking about all these signs and symptoms. The nurse is looking at the labs. The nurse is thinking about what medications did this person take, what their skin looked like, or they getting fluids, or like all these different things, because you're putting all the components together similar to the body. The body has so many different components, and it's just a way of thinking. It's a system of thinking, the different concepts that we have to learn. But this is all teachable. Everything with nursing is teachable. It doesn't take a whole lot. Even rocket science, yes, it's probably hard as hell, but if you open to learning, you're going to learn it. But if every way through the way of you learning it, you're saying, I can't do this, I'm not going to get this, I'm never going to get it, I'm not good enough, I failed out of this class, I don't know how to do this, I'm not good at that, you ain't going to freaking learn nothing, because your mind is already made up. The same mind that you need to understand these concepts is the same mind that's telling you that you can't do it. How is that going to work? You have to be on one accord with yourself. Like when they say believing is achieving, all the corny stuff that they told us in childhood is true. And I'm getting this talking to my husband's grandmother. She about to be 87 years old next week. And she was like, you know, she was just a little country girl from the South, came to Missouri when the great migration of African Americans came from the South to Missouri, to the Midwest, Missouri, Illinois, Chicago, things like that, came more to the Midwest from the South. She was just one of them girls, and she got a man that was a good Christian man, okay, and took care of his family, had a good job at Boeing, which was McDonnell Douglas back in the day, and he took care of his family. And she raised her family. She did what she had to do. And she's just like, she always say, I got a simple mind, but she's very intelligent. She's like, I got a simple mind, da, da, da. But with her, the ego is not there. She lost the ego, so she's able to just take the information for what it is. And that's the key component. If you can remove the ego that's telling you that you're not good enough, or telling you you should know this, or telling you, oh, this is too hard, or telling you, well, you got all this going on, you ain't gonna be able to, or telling you too old, or girl, you ain't been in school for so long, or dude, da da da, how you gonna do it with that mind is always gonna make sure that you stay small. That's the fear. That's the ego. It's telling you you cannot do it. Anytime that mind comes into play, that's not the truth. That ain't the truth. You got to rebuke that. You got to rebuke it. It's not the truth. Because your mind is people that still learn well into their 70s, 80s, 90s. It's amazing what the human mind can do. I see older people, they be, child, when them iPhones and all that start coming out and they start doing they look, I'm like, okay, look at y'all. They do it like the kids be doing. They be knowing what to do, and they keep it in pristine condition. I know somebody grandma right now got a, I don't know, first generation, third, fourth generation iPhone that still work. Somebody got something, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mind can open up to anything, but you have to open it up. You have to remove the veil, because the fear in you, that little girl in you, that little boy in you, that part of you that's insecure, that part of you that had wounds when it came to intelligence, because there's always wounds when it comes to education, because so much of our life is learning. All of our life is learning. All of our life is learning. So there's so many wounds around learning stuff and having to learn your lessons and your failures. There's so many wounds because it's just a bruise to the ego, but the ego is a lie. The ego is just here to keep you small. So don't allow that part of you to stop you from learning, to stop you from saying, I'm gonna apply for school, I'm gonna go take this interesting exam, I'm gonna study for it, I'm not gonna sabotage myself, I'm gonna sit down and study for it first. Talking to you, because people like to go take tests without studying. Now that ain't logical. So study for this test. I'm gonna put some money towards this. I'm gonna go on and do that. I'm gonna go on and do that. Do it. Do it. Do not let fear hold you back. Fear had a place in our life in so many ways. People say this. They be like, fear has a place in your life. Your ego has a place in your life. It does keep you safe. And sometimes you need that, but sometimes